You have got to love a nice crispy misty morning like this, man. Ah, it's so relaxing. I've got headphones on though, so I couldn't tell you how loud I was talking there. Plus I feel like when I've got headphones on I talk with like a weird lisp or like a weird inflection because of the way it reverbs in my ears, you know? Having lunch a whole hour later than normal today, ladies and gentlemen, because I got completely sideswiped by the generation of a pipeline that will build my new microservice. Previously, I've only really had to like do basic cloning because all of my microservices are the same, but this one is a .NET Core 3 service fabric. The one I was cloning from was a .NET Core 2 service fabric, and it turns out that after an hour and 50 minutes of trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, why it won't build, I managed to replicate the issues locally, and it was all to do with the NuGet package restore when it installs all of the MS build stuff for Service Fabric. The .NET Core one isn't capable of pulling in that thing by the looks of it, and if you run the .NET one first, which I was doing, and then run the full fat NuGet one, it thinks it's there. The second NuGet one's like, oh, there's nothing to do here because it's already been restored. So what we have to do is just go to the .NET one and bang, there you go, we're happy, What's that noise? Oh, don't worry about that. So yeah, it's just like a weird small bin lorry that's only going to one house. Bizarre. Words. Yeah, so we're happy now. We've got the microservices up and running and connected to the service bus. We have the build definition that will sort it all out. I just need to do the saga now, then that user story is done. And then I need to, and I've also got everything except for, and you'll know it when you see it, the 3 bullet points on this page now set for my first draft. So I'll do that after lunch. We've had a very productive morning. We've been on fire, but it's time for lunch. Ooh, it's cold as well. I'm trying to put off, you know, my thick warm hoodie. I'm trying to put off putting that on as much as possible because it's not cold yet, you know? It's not actually that cold. It's only like the middle of fucking summer still, you know? Can't go, like Laura's already going around the house in full pajamas, a hot water bottle and a dressing gown, you know? You can't go full winter in October. Alright then, I reckon it's time to spill the beans. It's time to come out of the proverbial closet and start vlogging in here again. It's almost 100%, in fact 1,000,000% certain that I would have already officially launched this service by the time this video goes live, considering I'm about a month and a half behind on videos. I wanted to share with you some of the things I've got, kind of like as a rubber ducky thing, so that I can fix it, like talk it through with someone who can't respond, and then fix it. So, I've been working on launching a new service via Varialis, and that is a service that I thought about. I went to go see someone a couple of weeks ago about, I've been thinking about this for a while, to be fair, but I went to go see someone about a business that they were starting up, which was all to do around AI and advertising and all that kind of stuff. And while I was sat there and I was kind of like working with her, trying to get her idea out and kind of like shape a technical solution and all that kind of stuff, I realized that that's what I really like. That's what I'm really, really good at, you know? I love like working with people and kind of like coaching them to do better and kind of like bring out their best ideas and their best approaches and stuff. And something that I'm also really good at is kind of optimizing processes and optimizing teams. So at my job 2 jobs ago, we were under like a shit ton of pressure. We had to get so much work done, and there was so much pressure from the top, and everyone kind of kept bunkering down. And I was the person who would come up with all of the ideas to try and like optimize all of our workflows, to try and pull everyone together. I was like crucial for making our team as productive as it was, if I don't mind saying so myself. And I was really good at kind of like balancing everyone's... I'm really good at like sitting in a room, watching everybody, figuring out what they want, what they're scared of, what they think is happening versus what is happening, and how to like kind of get the best solution for everyone. That's my forte. And I did that really well at that job. And then when I went to the next job, I realised that they basically had a similar problem. All of their processes were really inefficient, and they were making lots of really simple mistakes that were very easy to fix. And I kind of got there, and as much as I was putting out all of the ideas, they weren't all coming from me. I was just kind of the mouthpiece. Really, it just takes someone like me to go in and kind of lubricate everybody else and get them feeling confident so they could put up ideas and so that they could voice the ideas that they already had. And the productivity levels between our team from when I started to when I left, or just before I left, were through the roof. Like, we were making huge changes, and we were making massive like spikes in productivity. And there was another person that I used to work with at that job 2 jobs ago, who went somewhere else, who had a similar scenario where they were kind of doing things really weird. And it took pulling someone else in to kind of go, hey guys, why are we doing it like this? This is really inefficient. And kind of like just shine a light on why it's so inefficient to do things the way that they do things. So that was when I came up with the idea of a consultancy service. And I've dubbed it Catalyst, because it's not the kind of service where, it's going to get pitchy, it's not the kind of service where you go in and you go, here's how you do Scrum, or here's how you do Kanban, and then you like get the rule book out and you go through the process and you go, right, here's how you do this. Because the thing that everyone gets wrong is the culture. You have to develop an agile culture in order to develop an agile mindset in order to work in an agile fashion, right? And it isn't about doing things by the book. It's not about going somewhere and being like, hey, here's how you should be working. If you're not working like that, it's inefficient. It's about looking at how the company works as a whole. How does the board operate? How do the people outside of the range of development work? And how do they influence development? Then you look at the development team, you look at the QA process, you look at the operations process, you look at how the BAs work and how project management works and how the actual management works. And then you figure out a solution and steps and processes that kind of pull together everyone's desires, I guess, and everyone's wants. So like, management want things in a different way to the developers do. And usually that creates a tension, but it doesn't have to. And I'm really good at removing that tension, I think. And it's called Catalyst because I make things go faster. Like, as a general rule of thumb, you guys have everything you need to work better, work more efficiently. You have the valuable assets, the people, right? I'm not going to come in and remove people. I'm not going to say people are bad. I'm just going to get the most out of those people. Like a catalyst does in a reaction, I'm going to just speed things along a little bit. So I've been trying to figure out how to sell this, and which is why I've had on this whiteboard, I've had like ideas and like key points. And it's quite, I think it's a difficult thing to put on a website, you know? It's quite a difficult thing to kind of bullet point out. Whereas Code Reviews as a Service was a bit more like bam, 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 here's the process, done. Whereas this is more, I'll go somewhere. So here's basically the product, is I go to a company, and it changes based on who the company is and how they work. But it's a general rule of thumb, go to the company, figure out what it is that the management want, and then go and shadow the teams. So I'll sit and shadow the teams, do development. I'll basically just sit with them while they do their general work. I'll then, say I'll go sit with them for like a week or two, depending on who they are and what they do. I'll then do like interviews, kind of like Louis Theroux style, pull people aside, specifically the juniors, pull people like the juniors aside and be like, hey, so like, how's it going? Kind of like break down the ice between us, and then kind of work with them. So work with the developers, work with the QAs, work with operations, work with management, work with everyone, figure out what everyone wants, and then kind of come up with an approach to solve those problems. And I'm really looking forward to it. I think that's something that kind of bizarrely, for someone who is so, I guess, introverted, I love that. I love working with people, and that's the best part of my past couple of jobs have been those things when I'm doing that kind of stuff. As much as I say I don't want to go into management, which is bizarre, but so that's the idea, and I've been trying to put it on the website, and I'm going to start pushing it. By the time you've seen this, I'll have been pushing it quite a lot. I wanted to show you the workflow of how I wanted to do it. So, because I have all my bullet points here, but because I now have 2 services on the site, designing the site, makes it quite difficult to do. So here is my, let me just swap my fisheyiness. So here is my site as of the moment of recording it. So I've got the code reviews as a service stuff here, advantages of it, and the about us bit here, and then you've got the get in touch thing. I've also got like this I'm not a robot thing here. I'm swapping that for one that's just in the corner, so I don't have the I'm a robot thing. I haven't decided what I thought about that. Because this is on most pages, this is there all the time. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I feel like that's the way to go. I then have in the services section, go to code reviews, and then you've got the overview of code reviews as a service. You've got all of this shit about the advantages of it. You've got pricing on here, and then you've got the FAQ section here, right? What I want to do is introduce a new service called Catalyst that lives in this world. So this is pre-live. I haven't proofread anything yet either. I've just got the general content. I fixed a bug with this services thing, which only becomes apparent when you've got two things on the list. On here I have code reviews, which is basically exactly the same. It's slightly polished in content. It's slightly changed a little bit, but not a crazy amount. I then have this bit. So I've got the agile coaching, because it's kind of a cross between consulting and coaching. Got a little bit of blurb here about what the focus is. Got this jobber, and then I've got the key focuses. I've kind of got, I don't know if you've noticed, I've kind of got this like white and grey theme going on. So I've got the white bit here, grey bit. It's kind of annoying that this bit can't have its own section, but that's fine. And I've got a how does it work thing, and I've got this kind of almost like stepper that shows you like the processes, and you can go back and forth on it. And that's cool. It took me fucking ages to do that, so you better like it. But then I needed to focus on doing the home page. So what I've done on the home page is redesigned it. So effectively, I have the exact same kind of style. I've swapped code reviews as a service for Catalyst. The advantages are now Catalyst's advantages, not thingies. And then instead of going to the About Us page on here, I've redesigned the top part of the code reviews page into this design. So I've got, it's literally the same icon, the same thing, it's just in a different layout. You then scroll a little bit further down, we've got the blogs. So we've got the top 4 most recent blogs, and you can click through to read more about them. And then you've got the About Us page. What do you think of that? I'm pretty chuffed with that, because like it took me a long time to figure out how to like spread out these things, because I'd have white, grey, white, grey, white, grey. And kind of the problem I always had was if I just did that, and then just kind of did this, how would I get the About Us page? But I think putting the blogs there, and I've got them, is an interesting thing to put on the homepage. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on for the past week and a half. I've got a lot of content on the site that I need to proofread, and I'm going to publish it to my test site in order to get feedback from Laura and someone I used to work with. See what they think about it. But I think this is going to be quite a fun, like, I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's easier to sell than... The problems with code reviews as a service is I think it's a good product that solves a problem for some people, but finding those people is not trivial. Like, it targets such a niche market. It's not even that niche, to be honest with you. It's quite a big market. It's just finding them is nearly impossible. It's just really expensive, and then you've got to sell to them. I think this is a bit more like, if you feel like you're not running as optimally as you can, or if you feel like there is tension between management and development, and or like you keep missing deadlines, or you don't understand why certain things take a certain amount of time, then I can come along and kind of, no nonsense, find the best solution for you and give everyone a place at the table. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. I'm pretty excited about it. Like I say, I've finished the site layout wise. I just need to do some proofreading of the content in order to make sure that I have everything that I need. And then I'll probably push it up the beginning of next week. And that's when I'll start contacting potential clients as well. But yeah, bit of a ramble. Catalyst. Hopefully more successful than code reviews. Yeah, the idea came from that meeting where, well, I was thinking about it before, where I was thinking about how there is kind of a gap in the market for kind of like common sense style consulting and coaching and getting the most out of people, and that I'd be quite good at it. And then I went to that meeting with that founder, and I was like, I was in my element. I fucking loved it. I loved every moment of it. And I'm like, as I walked out of that room, I was like, we need to do it. We just need to do this catalyst thing. It's a brilliant idea. And I'd really enjoy it, and I'd be really good at it. I think it's my like, I always said that my secret weapon, my like best skill is keeping meetings short, but yet making sure you cover everything. I'm just brilliant at that. So I just walk in, obviously I won't be doing this, but I can walk in and just lead a meeting of people, like walk into a room that I didn't even realise I was going to have to walk into until 5 minutes ago, and then just lead it and just be like, right, so this needs to do that, this needs to do that. Okay, summarise, bam, 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 cool. Latest. And that meeting that normally takes an hour takes like 15 minutes because there isn't like a preamble at the beginning and all that kind of stuff. I'm actually really good with people, despite how introverted I am in a non-professional environment. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And like I say, hopefully I can find some clients who want it. Did you want a service like this? Get in touch. You never know. You never know. Maybe. Maybe someone watching this is interested. So now we have that sorted. I'm going to wait until I do my proofreading of it. I'm going to do some development. So I need to drive some more data through my microservice. That's what I'm going to do now. It's a good day so far there, boys. For a while I've been trying to figure out a way to like listen to podcasts and stuff while I'm programming, because programming is one of them things where like most of the time you don't have to think about it. It's just like kind of smash it out to a certain extent. Like you think about it up front and then do it, you know? Especially in scenarios like this where I'm in the early stages of spinning up a service, a new microservice. So I've got to do things like the automation tests and all that kind of stuff. Where like I want to listen to podcasts because I get bored of music because I listen to music too much, and putting on a video is annoying when I'm trying to use two screens. I'm deliberately trying to use the second screen to kind of almost copy from a previous microservice. And then also more distracting, right? Now I've thought about changing service. I've thought about, because I use Pocket Casts, I've thought about moving to Spotify so that I could just have podcasts playing from Spotify. But you can't offline them by default on Spotify. You can't like auto download. And I'm not sure whether or not that's annoying, because I mean, I don't leave the house. I'm always in Wi-Fi. And if I am ever not in Wi-Fi, I've got a shitload of data because I'm always in Wi-Fi, right? So in theory, I could just always stream my podcast and that'd be fine. But I'm sticking with Pocket Casts. And what I have been doing was Bluetoothing to these speakers. So I've got these little donut speakers things over there. But then it's annoying because like obviously my computer's plugged into it, but like my phone would want to connect to my headphones, and I don't want it to connect to it all the time. I kind of want it to be like an optional toggle thing, and it's just like a pain in the ass. And then I remembered that a long time ago I bought Laura a Chromecast audio, which you can't buy anymore, a Chromecast audio for that stereo over there, right? But recently we put in the Google Home, so she doesn't use it anymore. So I've taken back the present I bought her to use myself, and it's great. I do kind of want some kind of Google Assistant. I think if you could have, which I don't think you can do in the Google world, if you could have a Google Assistant that directly plugs into a speaker. They didn't do this because they had the Chromecast audio, but they don't have the Chromecast audio anymore, so they might do it. You know, like an Echo Spot. If they did a Google version of that, I'd have a Google Assistant in it, because the amount of times that I want a Google Assistant, but my phone is just a pain in the ass. Shut up! I was, yeah, listen to me there. But yeah, like my phone is less good at that, you know? I wonder if you can get it on your computer and just have it through like the microphone in the webcam. That'd be cool. Turns out you can connect them via Bluetooth now. So you can connect like a Google Home Mini to Bluetooth to these things. Because like these speakers are fine. I don't want a speaker to listen to music to. I want it to be able to talk to it. So I think the Echo Dot is like the perfect way. Is like the perfect product, effectively. But Google don't make one, so. And I don't want Alexa, because Alexa's just not. It's not about that life, is it? Although you can install the Google Assistant as a developer thing on Windows. It might be worth looking into one day. But yeah, I just wish you could do more stuff like that. I wonder if should I turn on Cortana? Holy shit, man, Cortana is dog shit. Jesus Christ. I just asked 3 things: what the weather was, how to spell something, and a maths question, and it binged it. Oh, Microsoft. Oh my God. Lunchtime again, boys and girls. God damn, it's an hour later than I normally have lunch as well. I don't like having lunch this late, to be honest, but I had another one of them scenarios where I'm just trying to get something working. I'm writing automation tests for the next little bit. I had it down as taking like roughly 2 hours to do, but it would have taken an hour. Just have to figure out that I estimated 2 hours. I would have estimated an hour if it was an existing microservice. I estimated 2, and then spent 2 full hours, just under 2 hours, trying to fix an issue with SpecFlow and XUnit test generation, where it wouldn't generate the files properly for XUnit. Why wasn't it doing it for XUnit? So yeah, there's an issue basically with C# version 8. SpecFlow doesn't fully support version 8 yet. So you update to a beta package which does support it, and then there's a bug in the XUnit version of that beta package. And then you enter a rabbit's nest, a rabbit swarm of just annoying fixes, effectively, and NuGet package updates to try and fix this problem. I ended up switching from XUnit to MS Test. I tried NUnit, it didn't work. Same problem. But yeah, so fun times, boys. I am assuming that my build pipelines aren't going to enjoy having 2 separate test adapters running next to each other, XUnit and MS Test, but we'll cross that road, won't we? Well, we need to, and like I say, hopefully when they come out of beta for this NuGet package update, it'll work, but until then, I don't know, and I can't wait for that, so fingers crossed the test pipeline works. I haven't checked up the automation tests yet into the repository because they won't pass because I haven't implemented it yet. So that's what I normally do. I write the tests first and then kind of keep them locally, and then continue to check up as normal, and then just kind of dump it at the end. But anyway, lunchtime, boys. I'm a hungry boy. Also, boys and girls, it is blood orange season. Look at the size of this blood orange. I love blood orange. The best fruit in the world ever. Another pretty productive day today, ladies and gentlemen. Although the evening, so this week so far, I've averaged a nice solid, give me 1 second, 7.5 hours today, 8.5 yesterday, 8 yesterday before that, and 8 the day before that. So dropped down on the average today, but needed to give some, we needed to go for a walk to like chill Laura out after a pretty bad day of work. So went out for a nice lovely walk in the crisp evening. And we also had like dinner, which was like a Asian vegetable broth, and there was just like no flavour to it, and it was like the blandest fucking thing ever. It's just too much vegetables as well. You know when you have so many veg and it like makes you feel like you've OD'd on vitamin C, no? Happens to me if I have a cucumber sandwich without any meat in it, which I've done before, and then like an apple, and I'm like, I'm done. I don't want any more fruit or veg ever again. Anyway, words with words. But yeah, so otherwise we've got the site ready, basically ready to go. I think I'm just going to launch it tomorrow, soft launch, and then we'll loud launch it on Monday. I've got some programming to do because I've got some stuff going on. Laura's at university this weekend, so we've got lots of work to do over the weekend as well. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I've been on a good roll this week, I think. And I've been enjoying it thoroughly. And I just need to get back on to considering how I'm going to email people now I've got this new thing to offer. I need to do blogs again, man. God damn. Especially now that there's a little blog section on the main home screen. Cool. I'm going to go to bed. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know what you think. Oh no, I need to do. Yeah, there's one other thing I need to add to the site. But yeah, otherwise, I left that in a code view comment. I would have seen it before I merged it because I wouldn't be able to merge it. I don't know what to say. I'm going to bed. Catch you later.